Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zeng here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 17 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. Today will probably be our second to last episode with this team, maybe the last one even if I can get the new team that I want in game quickly enough. I've been putting and getting a couple of the Pokemon together, but I still need to breed for one or two more. So yeah, just trying to get a new team in game. I know you guys are kind of hungry to see one since we've been using this team for a while, but I hope you guys have enjoyed the episodes with this team. And I will be posting a team breakdown slash kind of guide analysis, whatever you want to call it, for this pretty soon with EV spreads and whatnot, so you guys can stay tuned for that. We're going to find our first opponent. Of course, the battle spot ratings did reset, so we are all the way back down to the 1500s, but we'll see if we can just try to pick up some quick wins for our new team, so we'll be in a higher rating once we get started. As always, if you guys enjoy Road to Rank, please share support by leaving a like in the video. Would really appreciate it. And let's get into this first game. My opponent's got a really scary team. Cloyster, which we actually saw get top 16 over at the Georgia Regionals last weekend on Mike Selesky's team. Garchomp, Pheromosa, Tapu, Lele, Salazzle, and Smeargle. So, I mean, I think four things stick out here. Pheromosa, Salazzle, Smeargle, and Cloyster. None of those are traditionally like super common Pokemon, other than maybe Pheromosa, which we've seen had some success so far already. Whenever I see Pheromosa, I pretty much instinctively lead Arcanine, and I think that's going to be the case here as well. Salazzle is actually kind of a concern. I might go Ninetales Arcanine here because I threaten with a faster Pokemon, Ninetales is Sash, and I can Aurora Veil. So all of those pretty solid. This is really tricky, honestly. I think Porygon is definitely the way to go here because it can take my opponent's attacks and it can set up Trick Room. I think Porygon plus Muck does pretty well against my opponent's team. So I like that. You know, Feeny, you could definitely make a case for here, but it just gets outsped, and Salazzle can get a Sludge Bomb off, and Garchomp can Poison Jab or Z-move. And Garchomp, you know, it's kind of solid here, but I don't know if it's Scarf Lele or not, and it's still slower than most of my opponent's team. So I'd rather not. Like, I kind of want to go for, here's the lead, let's kind of fast and offensive, and then I have a Trick Room option in the back. But I don't know, that's a lot of scary and intimidating Pokemon from my opponent's end, so we'll see what ends up coming out. So it's Lele and Salazzle. Salazzle pre-Pokeball can't fake out. Actually, we'll be able to see whether that's Scarf Lele or not based off the abilities here. And Psychic Surge goes off first. That's Scarf Lele, which is not fun. Okay. That's kind of a concern. Intimidate here really doesn't do much for me either. Okay, with this lead in, I'm gonna Snarl and switch out into my Muck, yeah. So now that I know Lele is Scarfed, I can use that to my advantage. I would love for him to Psychic into Ninetales. You should probably Moonblast, but the thing is, if you're Scarfed, you don't want to maybe not lock yourself into Moonblast because you know there's an Arcanine. He also could double up onto the Arcanine slot, which would be kind of bad. So yeah, this is not an ideal lead matchup. If Lele were slower, then I'd feel a lot more comfortable because I guaranteed the Aurora Veil up. And that honestly goes such a big difference because Arcanine just takes significantly less damage from Lele. But switching into Muck here I think is relatively solid, especially if Lele locks itself into Psychic. So let's see what it does choose to do. It actually goes for a Gleam. I'll take that because I know it's Scarf, so it's not going to do too much damage. And just a Sludge Bomb into Ninetales. Okay. So I still take a decent amount of damage there, but I confirm Salazzle's item, which is Life Orb as well, so I'll take that. Snarl also connects with both Pokemon, so this is a pretty solid turn because like, Snarl actually does an okay amount to Salazzle because it's so frail, and so after Life Orb, Hail, and Snarl, it takes like 40% of damage. So I think Lele here definitely is going to want to swap out, so I could leverage that and use that to my advantage. The unfortunate thing is Muck actually took way more damage than I really would have liked to there. Like, I've already procced my Fiki Berry, and you don't really want that to happen. I mean, obviously it's great because I'm still basically at full health, but I do take a ton of damage there. So let's see what options Lele can really switch into. Will-O-Wisp and Poison Jab covers everything that can switch into. So I'm going to go for that. He also could stay in, but that's fine if he stays in. I think Chomp is what I'm fearing the most, and if I can get the Chomp to switch in and I get the WoW off, that's really good. This Burning Chomp goes such a long way. And if he doesn't switch out, then I'll just knock out the Lele, and that means my Ninetales has a smoother time in this matchup. Because he could stay in and just go for a Dazzling Gleam and Flamethrower, but nope, Lele switches out. Anything switching in right now is gonna... Yep, and there's the Chomp. Excellent. So if I don't miss this Will-O-Wisp, I'm in a very golden position. And Salazzle protects, which is even better. So please don't miss. Okay, nice. Unless he's Lumbberry, but we have not really seen Chomp at all in this format. It's pretty much all been Z move, Assault Vest. Those are really the most common ones. So, pretty much perfect turn for me there. I guess it could have actually been better if I switched out the Muck, predicting a Protect. But I'll take that turn for sure. Because Salazzle's at -1 too, so its damage output's not nearly as great as it could be. So, yeah, solid turn for me here for sure. I do want to conserve Muck because Lele cannot do too much to Muck. Even Moonblast does like 50% and Poison Jab knocks out in return. So, I'm gonna... Let's see. I'm definitely gonna be switching in Porygon here. The question is in what slot. I think I'll switch Arcanine out here because I can Intimidate Garchomp again next turn. And I'll just protect Muck here. He could Tectonic Rage me, but given that he's burned, it wouldn't do too much. So I'll just play it safe. And if he Tectonic Rages Porygon, that's perfectly fine. He's not going to do too much damage. Salazzle's not doing too much damage here either right now. But yeah, it's obviously a very hyper-offensive team. I mean, you've got Life Orb Salazzle, you've got the Choice Scarf Tapu Lele, and then the Garchomp presumably with the Z move. And yeah, I'm probably going to want to set up Trick Room soon. But that will involve switching Muck out and then back in. Arcanine does put on some pressure though, especially with Salazzle being as frail as it is. So Arcanine's going to swap out. Porygon's going to come in. Should get a special attack increase here. Yeah, as it does. And Muck's going to protect. Let's see if we see a Tectonic Rage. Sludge Bomb comes out first. Yep, targeting Porygon, but -1. Doesn't do too much. In fact, I'm okay with that because he takes the recoil. And he Earthquakes himself! Wow. So not going for a Z move, instead just going for an Earthquake, that probably knocks out Salazzle. Yeah, and Porygon doesn't take too much damage. So I'll take that turn. I mean, that is a potentially smart play for my opponent because what this allows him to do is switch something else back in for free, presumably Tapu Lele. I don't know if Psychic Terrain ends this turn or next turn, though. But I'll take that turn. Getting the Will-O-Wisp call onto Garchomp was really good. And I knew there wasn't anything that really could have switched in. Pheromosa could potentially be in the back as well, but if there is Pheromosa, I do have Intimidate at least. And Psychic Terrain actually probably ends next turn, I think. So if Lele comes back in, that's also good, because, you know, can't really lock yourself into Psychic. You'll probably want to lock yourself into Moonblast anyway, but, yeah. So now I could even potentially set up Trick Room, because a double target onto Porygon I could be able to survive. So it kind of speaks to Porygon, and that's why it's one of the most common Pokemon, and one of the best Pokemon in the format right now. So that's probably will be for the rest of the year. So let's see what comes in. I'm feeling pretty good about my position, because I know the item of Lele as well, and I still have my Sash on my... and it is Pheromosa, okay. Oof, that makes things a little bit trickier. I think what I'm going to want to do here is... Can I take a Tectonic Rage when Garchomp's burned and at -1? Because I really want to just switch into Arcanine right now to get the Intimidate off against Pheromosa and Poison Jab. I'm pretty sure I can survive it, even if he has a Z move. If he's burned and intimidated, I can take it. Unless he's Adamant, which would be kind of bad. I think actually the better play would have been to sacrifice... No, to switch Muck into Arcanine there. Even if I sack both my Pokemon, that's a free switch into Ninetales, and Ninetales can just Blizzard away. Okay, but good. He's going for the Z move on Pheromosa, and that's what I was hoping for. All-out pummeling into my Arcanine, but that's fine because I've gotten the Intimidate off, and Poison Jab probably just knocks him out. Earthquake definitely does not knock out Muck at this point, so he has no way to hit my Muck. And yeah, that's what I was saying. Pheromosa is a Pokemon that we haven't seen too much of, but we've seen a couple of really top players using it at events. Oh, that goes into Muck. Ooh. That knocks me out. Oh, he crits me. I don't think that knocks me out without the crit, but okay. Wow, special attack beast boost. Poison Jab, okay. Shoot, that's actually really frustrating. I don't think he knocks me out. I was not considering the Z move onto that slot. Although it's especially base Pheromosa too, which is interesting. He might have been doubling up into the Muck. Poison Jab does no damage to Muck. And if a Muck gets that Poison Jab off, I win the game 100%. I think I'm still fine, though, because now I just bring in Ninetales. Yeah. So Pheromosa here probably wants to attack into Ninetales. Garchomp probably wants to protect. He also could protect Garchomp. Snarl covers a Lele switch in. Okay, let's say I knock out Pheromosa and Garchomp protects. He's still forced to Earthquake himself. So I'm fine with that. He doesn't really want to Earthquake himself. Pheromosa, I think Garchomp protects it. If Garchomp doesn't protect, I win the game. Or actually, that could happen as well. But that's fine. Yeah, so that was another play I was potentially fearing. He probably went for the Earthquake, but that's okay with me. Because Blizzard just knocks Chomp out here. He will, however, get the free switch to Lele, which is a little bit bothersome. Yeah, Snarl does nothing there. Hail stops. Oh, that's actually kind of bad. And Psychic Terrain will be reactivated, so not a good chain of events. That crit onto Muck was very unfortunate. I'm pretty sure it doesn't knock out because of Intimidate, but I can't be entirely sure about that. Yeah, Lele comes back in. I think I'm just gonna Icy Wind here with Ninetales. I need to knock out Pheromosa because Porygon beats Lele. So yeah, I'm gonna Flamethrower and Icy Wind because I know of the Sash. So if he doesn't knock out Arcanine, then I win the game by knocking out Pheromosa. And if he doubles up into Ninetales, then Flamethrower knocks out Pheromosa. So kind of a weird position because I don't have... I can't Blizzard freely right now, because I would probably Blizzard otherwise here instead of going for Icy Wind, because speed control doesn't matter as much to me. Although Icy Winding against Lele is also pretty helpful. But we'll see. Let's see what my opponent goes for here. Yeah. I do want to do the damage calc of that onto Muck after I'm done with this game, because I am really curious about that. So Lele locks itself into Gleam, which is good. I was more worried about choosing Psychic, but that's good. Hidden Power. What is that? HP Ground? Wow. That's not something you see every day. Okay. So he is at +1 now, or +2. I don't miss Icy Wind though. I don't know how much this does. I might have to go for a blind Blizzard. Ugh. Yeah, I don't like that. Not one bit. So I bring in Porygon now. HP Crown Pheromosa, wow. Huh, okay. Maybe I should have switched out. I don't really think so, though. I mean, I'm faster now with Ninetales. So I could just Blizzard. He's just gonna Dazzling Gleam for sure. Icy Wind doesn't knock out Pheromosa. So I'm gonna Trick Room here and Blizzard. He also could miss High Jump Kick. Unless he's using Focus Blast Pheromosa, that also could be the case. So he could miss that as well. But yeah, I'm going for the Blizzard. Running out of Hail was bad. I should have been counting my Hail turns a little bit better. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, this Pheromosa is obviously specially oriented as well, so that's why I don't think... Oh, wow. Lucky me, I hit the Blizzard. So that's game then. Pheromosa is just going to faint here, yeah. If I missed that, I think I still could have won, depending on what Pheromosa was going for there. So I wasn't really too sure about that. Like, he had to go for a fighting type attack onto my Porygon, and he had to pick up the knockout. Although I suppose because he had +2, he could have just Bug Buzzed. But then, even if I miss Blizzard, if I hit Lele, I would still just need to hit another one. So, yeah, if I had Freeze Dry there, I would have obviously just went for the safe Freeze Dry, but now I can just, yeah, attack and win the game. Because Blizzard two-shots Lele anyway, so I would have needed to hit 2 out of 3 Blizzards, I think, out of Hail. It's like if I hit Pheromosa or Pheromosa protects, I win the game outright. If I miss and he knocks out Porygon and I get the Blizzard off against Lele, then that's, you know, I hit 1 for 2. Actually, no, I would need to hit 3 out of 4, I think, right? Yeah. So, I mean, odds were still in my favor, but I'm not very happy about the fact I was forcing myself to hit blind Blizzards. So, yeah, that was definitely a pretty scary game. And I'm still really curious about that Pheromosa. Like, I was just assuming High Jump Kick with the physical, but I guess it probably gets access to Focus Blast, right? So if it is Focus Blast, then that would have been a special Pumaling, which actually knocks out Muck, which was something I didn't really consider at all. So what I really should have done was just sacrificed Like, I should have tried to get the free switch in into my Ninetales, because then Ninetales can just Blizzard, and Garchomp's slower than it, and Blizzard just knocks out Pheromosa anyway. And so, that's what I should have gone for. Didn't go for that. And as a result, because of that crit, might have not mattered. I ended up being in a position where the odds, you know, there was RNG stacked against me, and you never want to be in a late game where, like, you could lose the game from RNG. You always want to be at a point where you can secure the game 100%, so that wasn't the case there. But fortunately, Blizzard did connect. And yeah, I've been talking about this like for forever. Like, I really should have had Freeze Dry. People have been asking, like, why aren't you running Freeze Dry? Main reason was because of convenience sake, actually. I also wanted to try out Icy Wind because it's one of the few Pokemon that can actually... Ninetales is one of the few Pokemon that can, like, have speed control with Icy Wind in this format. But Icy Wind's also just more convenient to get on a Ninetales because it's level up, I believe, as opposed to breeding for Freeze Dry. So... if you want to play this team, I would definitely recommend Freeze Dry because it would have allowed for 100% win condition there in the end. But yeah, let's get into the second one. Christian rocking a super bulky team. I don't know if this is the exact same 6 Pokemon as Nails used to get top 4 at Dallas, but we do see the Mandibuzz, which we ran into a while back, a Kartana, a Garchomp, Arcanine, a Tapu Fini, and a Vikavolt. Just... all forgetting every Pokemon's name right there. Okay. Tricky. Definitely tricky. I think I like Ninetales Garchomp as a lead. Although Garchomp's still pressured by Fini. Because I think my opponent leads Fini here. So if my opponent does lead Fini... I mean, Ninetales Muck is actually super solid as well, actually, yeah. I think I still want Garchomp for the Z move in the back. And what's the threat to all of this? I want my own Fini. Especially because of the Arcanine, but I think Porygon's actually better because of its offensive output against Vikavolt, Garchomp, and Kartana. So I'm going to lock in. This matchup is scary, though. I mean, Mandibuzz is definitely the first Pokemon that sticks out. Like, we faced against that on Road to Ranked a couple of episodes ago, and it's annoying because it gets access to a lot of support and can continually heal with Roost as well. And I'm not bringing my Fini here, which could be a mistake, because what Fini can do against Mandibuzz is Calm Mind, and Mandibuzz can't touch Fini offensively, so you can get defensive boosts. But because there is a Kartana on my opponent's end, I'm a little bit worried. And there's a, Arcanine, which could potentially Roar as well. So, we'll see. Yeah, let's see what comes in, though. Ninetales and Muck has a lead, so I'm going to get my Hail up. I can Aurora Veil immediately, which is good. My opponent doesn't have any weather to stop that. It's Garchomp Vikavolt, actually. That's very nice. Yeah, I'm very content. Like, no one really ever leads Garchomp into Ninetales. I guess the one fear is that could be Scarf Chomp. But even if it's Scarf... I mean, if it's Scarf Chomp, you just discharge, probably. But if it's not Scarf Chomp... Okay, so here's the thing. If you are Scarf Chomp, then you Earthquake here. And discharge. And if you're not Scarf Chomp, you just Protect or switch out. And if you're not Scarf Chomp, that means you don't get to knock out my Ninetales. So I'm just going to Blizzard here. And I think I'll just Protect Muck, yeah, because Muck still puts on pressure. Maybe I want to switch out. But I don't want to take Earthquake damage quite yet, so I'm going to Protect Muck here. Let's see if he's Scarfed. Okay, he's staying in, and Muck protects, so that's got to be Scarf Chomp. Oh, he's probably going to Rock Slide, actually. Oh, never mind. Okay, nice. I was contemplating switching to Porygon there, but I didn't want Porygon to get potentially paralyzed from a discharge. So I'll probably lose Ninetales here, but I'll take the trade for the Garchomp knockout, because Garchomp's a pretty big threat to my Muck, and I just eliminated the biggest threat to my Muck. And I do a comfortable, like, 40% to Vikavolt. So I'll take that turn. Yeah, there's a Thunderbolt. Okay, so not a discharge, so I could have switched into Porygon there, I guess. But that's fine by me. Overall, a positive turn. Yeah, so I did call the Scarf Chomp there. Still, what do I want to switch into now? Probably my own Chomp, actually. Yeah. Because I have the Z-move threat, and I'm faster with Muck. And if he brings in, for example, Arcanine, that would be really, really, really nice. There we go. So I can just safely Z-move into Arcanine right now. I think I'm going to Z-move and Poison Jab. Most Arcanines don't carry Protect. So, yeah, I'm just going to Tectonic Rage here. Who could he switch into? Cortana is the one thing I guess I should be a little bit worried about. So I'm going to knock off here, because if Tapu Fini comes in, then it'll be in Poison Jab KO range from Chomp anyway. So I'm playing this assuming Arcanine doesn't have Protect. It could be a more offensive Arcanine, though, so I'm not sure if this is the best play. I could have just Poison Jabbed into Vikavolt. I don't know what Vikavolt really can do, though, offensively. Unless... I could have HP Ice. Okay, but he stays in with both, and I just get Tectonic Rage off, so that's a knockout onto Arcanine. So, first 2 turns have played out exactly how almost exactly how I wanted them to. I think if I also wanted to switch into Porygon because I would get the download boost for Special Attack most likely. And that would be really good because Porygon's actually a pretty big offensive threat against my opponent's team. But I'll still take this turn, get the knockoff here onto the Arcanine, and I'll remove Vikavolt's item. Unless Arcanine doesn't faint here, but yeah, it's, even at -1, Tectonic Rage is pretty much a guaranteed knockout. So let's see what Vikavolt's carrying here. Knockoff also will do an okay amount. It's Agua Berry. Okay, that makes sense. So we're just going to see a buzz into Chomp. That's a hefty amount, over 50%. Which kind of speaks to Vikavolt's kind of power. But, you know, I've gone up 3-2, and I still have Porygon in the back. So regardless, if my opponent's last one's Fini, you know, I still have Muck to deal with it. If it's Cortana, I've got Porygon in the back. And it's Cortana, which is really nice to see. Okay. So one thing I have to be aware of is a potential Beast Boost coming off right now. He hasn't procced my Berry yet. Because if Cortana gets a Beast Boost off, that would be concerning. I'm going to Protect here and... I think I'm just going to double Protect this turn so I can Poison Jab Vikavolt next. I can Fire Fang, Poison Jab. I'm scouting for Protect here, basically. And scouting for what Cortana wants to do. Let's see. Okay, so he just Leaf Blades into Chomp. And Thunderbolts into Muck. That's fine. So Cortana takes some hail damage there, which is good. He'll also be taking Rough Skin damage. Although we didn't see a Protect from Vikavolt. Actually, never mind. I think I'm still fine. Because I'll just lose my Garchomp here, but because I'm not switching into Porygon, like Porygon just can set up Trick Room. So I will just Fire Fang here in case for some reason he doesn't target Chomp, and I'll Poison Jab Vikavolt. Vikavolt's bulky though. I took that knockoff really well. But yeah, I like my positioning right now. Let's see. I don't want to switch into Porygon because I don't want to, for example, have Porygon take damage because Porygon wins against both of these Pokemon right now. Especially if that's not AV Cortana. But I'm not too sure, honestly. Okay, so he just Leaf Blades, yep. Especially if I get crit, for example. So he will get a Beast Boost up here, which is a little bit scary. But Cortana will take some Rough Skin damage there. But the other good thing is Vikavolt didn't Protect here. So even... I'm not sure if Jab knocks it out here. I think it probably doesn't with the Intimidate. Yeah, that's so bulky. Wow. So he will Thunderbolt me. That should proc my Berry. Yep. Which is perfect, because now Cortana doesn't outspeed or knock me out. Does Hail end here, or is there one more turn? Okay. That's actually really nice, too, because I can just Shadow Sneak safely into Vikavolt. So my opponent needs crits with Cortana right now, which is still possible. Which is scary. And Vikavolt, yeah, hangs on. Looks like a 3 HP or so. But Porygon can come back in. Let me just check. I believe this is the last turn of Hail. Cortana's at +1. He needs to crit Porygon, basically. Yeah, so Hail expires this turn. I'm going to Shadow Sneak because I don't want him critting Muck in case he targets Muck. And I'm just going to Ice Beam Cart. Although, you probably Protect Vikavolt here, but no Protect. Okay. So, like, I was thinking you might want to Protect, hoping that, you know, I don't knock you out. But you could also expect me to expect the Protect. And we do see a Sacred Sword, so if we avoid a crit here, we're good. Okay, nice. Maybe even with the crit, I could have gotten that Ice Beam off. Because they did around 120, so it would have done around 180. Ooh, wow, that's actually AV Cortana. I actually got a crit there as well. I don't think I needed that. Well, Because I'm not sure how much knockoff does, honestly. I'm going to Ice Beam here. Because even at +2, given that he's AV, I think potentially he could have knocked me out. Maybe I should have Trick Room there, though. Yeah, actually, I should have Trick Roomed. I misplayed at the end there. Did not play too well this episode, because what I do is I just Shadow Sneak into your Bug Vikavolt, and yeah, Knockoff Pixel Knockout. So I was thinking, okay, even if he is AV, Ice Beam plus Knockoff plus Shadow Sneak probably knocks him out, but that Ice Beam actually did less. Like, I would think with the crit I would knock out the Kartana, so Trick Room actually would have been much safer, because let's say Vikavolt protects there, and he Sacred Swords, that's fine, because I still have Shadow Sneak pressure, so then I can just recover Shadow Sneak. So it would still come down to whether he would crit or not, but then I'd have Trick Room up. So I definitely should have been going for Trick Room. It was pretty obvious it was going to be Assault Vest or Sash, and Assault Vest is kind of the item to assume. I think I still could have won anyway. I don't know, because most of the times if you're Assault Vest, you don't have too much attack investment, so I think Muck could have taken, since my Muck is really, really defensive, it could have taken a Smart Strike, even if it was at +2 attack, but that's a calc I'd have to do. But instead there was a safer way to win that game, and that was by setting up Trick Room. So I kind of got a little bit careless there at the end, and definitely a little bit tricky, but it's one that I should have just fully thought through. I was like, oh, it's Porygon 2, even he's AV, like Ice Beam does a ton of damage, but Assault Vest Kartana can actually take special attacks like pretty darn well. So that's going to be it for this episode. Not exactly like too content about how I played that, honestly. I feel like both games weren't exactly the cleanest, and there was some RNG that wasn't necessary, but definitely helped me out, and you never want to be in a position where like RNG really needs to be a factor at all, so could have been making some better plays or whatnot. A little bit rusty, but we'll get back into the hang of things. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, please leave a like if you did, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, peace.